Hi everybody, it's Julie the Whippy Chick here, and today I'm going to show you how to make this really quick, easy, and I think beautiful scarf. I designed this actually last year and time got away from me and I never wrote up the pattern or did a tutorial. So this year I want you all to be able to enjoy this super cozy warm scarf because I have already enjoyed it a couple times this year and it's only November. So I want you to be able to feel the squish and comfort and warmth of this. This uses a super bulky yarn, which is one of the reasons it works up so fast and is so squishy. And it also uses a stitch called the 2-leaf bar stitch. It might sound and look complicated, but it's really not too bad. And we're going to break it down here and give this a try. So I believe that the yarn I used here on this one was Loops and Threads Serenity. I think it's called Serenity. I'll put the name of it in here. It's my friend Melanie's favorite yarn. And I can never remember the name of it. But that is what I used for this scarf. For today's tutorial, I'm going to be using Sprightly super bulky acrylic yarn. It's the exact same weight. I'm going to be using a 9mm hook, which is so fun. It's so fun to use these great big yarns and these great big hooks. So we're going to get started. All right, give me just 1 second to get my stuff together. Okay. Please excuse the state of my yarn. I had a little yarn vomit when I was pulling out my center pull. Happens to all of us, I know. So you're going to need your yarn. Like I said, I am using a 9mm hook, and you're going to need a pair of scissors. Okay, so this pattern uses multiples of 6 plus 2. So what that means is we are going to do any multiple of 6 for our starting chain, depending on how wide we want our scarf. And then we are going to add 2 chains for turning. Okay, so for my scarf, I did 5 multiples of 6, so that's 30. Okay, so we're going to start by chaining 30, and then we're going to add 2 chains at the end for turning. Okay, so here we go. Let's get started with our 30 chains. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, whoops, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29,
and 30. And remember, we have to add 2 for our turning. So we did our 5 multiples of 6, which is 30. Now we're going to add our 2 for turning. So here's our 2 chains for turning. Okay. Now, the first thing we're going to do is a row of single crochet. We're starting in the second chain from the hook, and we're going to do a single crochet in every single chain across. Okay, so here is our first chain from the hook. We're going into the second chain with our single crochet. So there's 1, 2, 3. And I just want to point out that I am using this 2-leaf bar stitch to make a scarf, but you could use this to make other things too. You know, this might make a really cool afghan or wrap, lapgan, all kinds of things for this stitch. And when you do this stitch with a super bulky, you won't believe how fast it goes because this uses a double treble stitch. The 2-leaf bar uses a double treble. So these are big stitches. Big stitches. I really enjoyed making this scarf. I couldn't believe how fast it went. And I think that this is going to look really pretty in the silver. And it might be a gift for a friend this Christmas. So if you're looking for a really beautiful, really cozy gift idea, this is perfect. Especially if you live where I live in the Northeast or anywhere else that's cold in the wintertime. I would not be making this for my sweet sister in Florida because I don't think she'd have any use for it unless she came to visit me. So, all right, let's just continue this all the way across. How are you doing there? Aren't the first rows the hardest? They are for me. One of the things you can do when you're doing your starting chain is keep your chains kind of loose, not super loose, but a little bit loose, just so that you can get that hook in there. Because as you move down, those chains are gonna get a little tighter with every stitch. So it's a good idea to remember to keep those loosey-goosey when you're starting out. Another thing that sometimes you can do if you tend to get your chains really tight towards the end is go up a size on your hook just for your chain. That'll keep your stitches a little looser. I've never had to resort to that, but oh boy, sometimes it does get tight. Also with this super bulky, sometimes it is hard to differentiate your stitches because the yarn is so thick. There we go. So you might need to count. You might want to take the time to count your stitches. Okay. There we go. So we have made it to the end with our single crochets. I'm going to take a little break. I'll be right back and we'll get started with row 2. Okay, so the second row is pretty simple. We are going to do another row of single crochets. So we're going to chain up 1, turn our work, and in each one of our stitches, we are going to work a single crochet. All right, so don't do it in your turning chain. This always used to trip me up when I was a beginner, so I'm just going to go over it now. You have to just look at your stitches and learn how to read them. Now, this looks like it might be the first stitch right here, but that is my turning chain. And if you look down at the side, you can kind of tug on it and you can see, oh, that's not a stitch, that is my chain. So that means this is my first stitch. Okay? So those of you who are experienced already know that, but I know for me as a beginner, it always tripped me up. Okay, so let's just go across here. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I'm over here. 10, 11, 12, 13. Are you ahead of me? I'm not the fastest crocheter, and it's really hard to crochet at a table. But that's okay. It's not a race. Now you might notice that your project is curling a little bit. That's okay. It works itself out. It's just because we are using small stitches. So it's tending to curl up. But once we get a little length on our scarf, it will correct itself, so no worries. Now this pattern is a 4-row repeat, but don't let that intimidate you because 2 of the rows are identical, so no worries. Oops, get in there, and we have
1 more stitch to this row. Okay, that is row 2 complete. So we have 2 rows of single crochet. Flatten out, you wiggle worm. Okay, now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty here. We're getting into the 3rd row. so this is where we start our big stitch, the 2-leaf bar stitch. So we're going to chain up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to give you an indication of how big these stitches are, because we are going to be working a double treble stitch. Okay, we're going to skip our first 3 stitches. So remember, don't count your chain. With 1, 2, 3, and we're going to build into this stitch here. And I've already practiced the row, so my stitch is a little stretched out. Yours is probably not stretched out yet, but it will be. Okay, so we're going to skip 3. We're going to work into the 4th stitch, and we are going to put in 3 double trebles into that 1 stitch. Okay, so to do a double treble, you're going to wrap your yarn once, twice, 3 times. Insert your hook, pull up a loop. We are going to yarn over and pull through 2. Now, notice that I'm pinching here. I'm pinching these together because otherwise they tend to slide off the hook for me. You can play around with it and see what works for you, but for me it helps to pinch. Okay, so I've yarned over. I'm going to pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. And we're going to leave 2 loops on our hook. Okay, now we're going to do another double treble. 1, 2, 3 times around. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pinch it, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now I've got 3 loops on my hook. We're going to do one more. 1, 2, 3 wraps into our stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Oh, darn it. I knew it was going to happen. Okay. 1, 2, 3, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's why you have to pinch it, because they will fall right off that hook. There's 2, and pull through 2. So now we've got 4 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over one more time and pull through all 4 of them. Okay. From there, we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we are going to do 3 more of these double treble crochets into that same stitch, which is why that stitch is getting very stretched out. So let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Insert our hook, pull up a loop. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. We're going to leave 2 loops on their hook. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3 wraps. Insert our hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, now we've got 3 loops on our hook. We need to get up to 4, so we're going to do it again. 1, 2, 3. Insert our hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now we've got our 4 loops left on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 of those loops. And that finishes 1 2-leaf bar stitch. Okay, so I'm actually switching hooks. I think that this inline hook is going to lend itself better to this stitch. Also, it's not ergonomic, so my loops are not gathering all down here at the end. I think I'm going to have better luck with this hook. So that explanation over, we're going to move on to our next 2-leaf bar stitch. So what we're going to do is we are going to skip the next 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are going to build into the 6th stitch. Okay, so we're just going to go right into it with another double treble crochet. Sorry about that. I'm not used to saying double treble. Okay, so we're going to wrap 3 times, just like before. Insert our hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Oh yes, I can already tell that this hook is going to be much better. I don't normally recommend changing a hook in the middle of a project, but I am right at the very beginning, and I can tell that that hook was just not going to do it for this job. Okay, enough about that. Let's move on to our next double treble into the same stitch. So wrap 3 times, insert, pull up your loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Now we've got 3 loops on our hook. Remember, we have to get to 4. Okay, so we're going to do one more. 1, 2, 3 wraps. Insert, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. And look at that. Now we have our 4 loops on our hook. We are going to yarn over and pull through all 4. Excellent. Now we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we are going to work 3 more double treble crochets into that same stitch. 1, 2, 3 wraps. 1, 2, 3. I have 2 loops on my hook. Wrap it 3 times. And again for 1, 2, and 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. And in again for 1, 2, and 3. So that leaves me with 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 4. That gives me 2 2-leaf bar stitches. See, we have our 2 leaves and a bar. 2 leaves walk into a bar. Just kidding. Okay, so we're going to skip the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to build into the 6th stitch, and we're going to wrap our yarn 3 times, insert our hook, and we're just going to continue doing what we were doing before, pulling through 2, leaving those 2 on the hook. Wrap again. I'm so glad I switched hooks. That other hook was a nice hook, but just not the right hook for the job. Okay, so I've got 3 loops on my hook. Gotta do this one more time. Two, 3, and now I've got all 4 loops on my hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4, and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And 3 loops because we're going to go right back in. Pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Wrap 3 times, insert your hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Wrap 3 times, insert your hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and now we've got all 4 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through all 4. That makes 3. Remember, we're going to have 5 in each row. We're going to skip the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Build into the 6th stitch. Wrap it 3 times. Sometimes it's hard to do that because you want to hold your stitch in place so you don't lose your spot. But that's a lot of wrapping, isn't it? All right. 1, 2, 3. Pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and one more time, 1, 2, 3. Do you hear my dog? I don't know if you can hear him. He's in the other room, but he's barking. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the hook. We're going to pull through all 4. And I'm going to go see what he's barking at. I'll be right back. Hold on just one moment. Okay, I'm back. Silly old dog. Okay, let's chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're going to work another set of double trebles into that same stitch. Pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. 1, 2, 3 wraps. Pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. So we've got our 3 loops. We have to get one more loop on our hook. Sorry, I'm really struggling with the yarn vomit here, guys. I apologize. Don't you hate it when your yarn gets so tangled up? My goodness. Okay, let's do one more. 1, 2, 3 wraps. And pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. So now I've got all 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to pull through all 4 of them and move on to my last 2 leaf bar stitch. So once again, I'm going to skip 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to build into the 6th. You can tell I've already done this and pulled it out because it's all stretched. 1, 2, 3. But I did a whole row with that other hook and it just was not working for me. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Pull through 2, pull through 2. So I've got 3 on there. Gotta do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I've got my 4 loops on the hook. I'm gonna yarn over, pull through all 4. Oops, I missed one. There we go. And chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're gonna go right back into that same stitch with 3 more double treble crochets. So here's the first one. 2, 3 wraps. 1, 2, and 3. So I've got 3 loops on my hook. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now I have 4 loops on my hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4. And that finishes my 5 2-leaf bar stitches across that row. Okay, so the last thing I need to do is a double treble crochet into the last stitch in the row. Now, if you've done your counts right, you should have 1, 2, 3 stitches left, and we are going to build into that last stitch. Okay, so we're going to skip 2 and work a double treble crochet into the last stitch of the row. 1, 2, 3, and pull through that last one. Okay, so that finishes the 3rd row of the project. All right, so the next row, we're just going to chain 1 and turn our work. And we are going to work single crochets all the way across. Okay, so the first single crochet we are going to put in is going to be in the first group stitch. So you see all of these 3 stitches come together at the top into one stitch, and that is this stitch here. This is not this stitch. This is just like the loop where we connect it over. Okay, so we're going to build into the group stitch. So that's what we're looking for right there. So we're going to work a single crochet there. And then in these chain 5 spaces, we are going to work 5 single crochets into this space, not into the individual stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and once again, we are going to build into the next group stitch. Again, this is not the group stitch. This is the group stitch where all of this little group comes together at the top. Okay, so we're going to skip over that little doodad there. That's kind of like a joiner. We're going to go right into the group stitch. Okay, and then 5 more in the chain 5 space. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again, we're going to skip this little spot here. We're going right into the join stitch at the top. There it is. And then 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip the little join, or skip, this little thing here, and go to the join stitch where all 3 of these stitches are joined together. Do a single crochet. Single crochet in the 5 single crochets, excuse me, in the chain 5 space. 3, 4, and 5. Skip this little doodad, go into the join, work a single crochet there, and then 5 single crochets into the chain 5 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 1 more in the join. There we go. So we did a single crochet in each one of these joins, which is 5, and then we did 5 in each of the chain 5s. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 31. Okay, so we ended up with 31 stitches. Okay, so next what we are going to do is chain 1, turn our work, and a single crochet in each single crochet. Okay. So this is a very easy row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know why I'm counting. Don't really need to be. Oops. Okay, and if you want to stop here, well, I'm going to stop here actually, and I'm just going to meet you at the other end. Okay, so we have made it all the way across. We've got 2 rows now of single crochet, and that is what makes our bar. So we've got the 2-leaf bar, okay? So the next row, it's probably obvious to you, is going to be another 2-leaf row. So we are going to do just what we did the first time. We're going to chain up 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to turn our work. And we are going to skip the first 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to build into the 4th stitch with our 2-leaf bar stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. So there's 1. Oops, I almost went to the, almost finished it. Don't want to finish it. We want to leave our 4 loops on the hook, remember. Okay, so wrap 3 times, insert, pull through once, pull through twice, pull through 3 times. All right, we got 3 loops on the hook. 1, 2, 3. Pull through once, pull through twice, pull through 3 times, pull through all 4 loops. Chain 5, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we're going to make another bar, or not a bar, a leaf. We're going to make another leaf. 2, 3. Wrap 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Got 3 loops on the hook. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I've got 4 loops on the hook. We're going to go ahead and pull through all 4 loops. Boy, I like this hook, but it's a noisy one. Okay, so you can see we're starting this next row of the 2 leaf stitches. Do you see what I'm dealing with? I don't know what happened here. I do not know what happened. Things got very twisted. Okay, so we are going to skip the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to build into the 6th stitch. And as you can see, they are lining up. You know, you're always going to be kind of in the middle. I mean, you don't want to eyeball it, you do want to count it, but you can tell when you're on target. Okay, so we're going to just make another leaf. My yarn's kind of splitting here. There we go. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I've got 3 loops on the hook. 1, 2, and 3. So now I've got 4 loops on the hook. I can go ahead and pull through all 4 and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go ahead and build another leaf into that same stitch. So I wrap 3 times. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. Wrap 3 times. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. Wrap 3 times. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. Now I've got my 4 loops on my hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4. And so you see now I've got 2 leaves here, 2 leaves here, and I'm going to continue to do that all the way across. I'm going to skip 5, work into the 6th, build a 2 leaf stitch. I'll do that again, and I'm going to do it. It's going to match up exactly with these ones, okay? And I will meet you when we get to that last stitch. When you're finishing that last leaf, I'll meet you there, and we will finish this row together. Okay, so I have made it all the way to the end of this row, and I am going to put in a double treble crochet into the last stitch. You see I have 3 stitches left. I have 1, 2, 3. This little loop here is from my turning chain, so that is not a stitch. So I'm going to skip these 2, and I'm going to work a double treble crochet into that last stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, from there on, it is just more of the same. It's exactly the same. You're going to chain 1, turn your work 1 row of single crochets that way, and then 1 row of single crochets back the other way. So there's always 2 rows of single crochets in between each of the 2-leaf stitches. 2-leaf rows. 2-leaf stitch rows? I'm not sure what to call it. Go ahead and work up as many rows as you want. I want to say on my red scarf, I think I managed to get 27 rows, but make it as long or as short as you want. I mean, you could make this into a cowl. You don't have to make it into a full-length scarf. It's completely up to you. It's going to be just as squishy and cozy either way. But I did 27 rows, not rows, but repeats, like, each of the bars in the leaves. So this would be like 1 set. I did 27 of those. And then I did the fringe. So if you hang on 1 second, I'll be right back to show you how I put the fringe on. And yeah, then you'll be ready to go. Make your own 2-leaf bar scarf. And I can't think of a more creative name for it. So that's just going to be the name. All right, everybody, I hope you found this helpful. And I'd love to see your scarf. So if you would like to share photos with me and everybody else in the Whippy Chick community, come on over to Whippy Chick Crochet Connections on Facebook. The link is in the description below, and join up so we can see your beautiful pictures. Okay, so as you can see, I've got this really pretty fringe here at the bottom of my scarf, and it looks like for each little tassel of fringe, I used 2 strands of yarn. So I'm going to show you how I went ahead and made my fringe. Now, I'm very high tech when making my fringe. I basically just use some sort of a book or a CD case or a DVD case, something like that. Something that's, a little bit firm. I just grabbed a little notebook that I had laying around. Okay, so I'm going to just grab my yarn and wrap it around here. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Okay, and so you wrap it around. Now I'm only going to wrap it around a couple of times because I'm just going to show you how I do this. But normally you would wrap it around lots and lots of times, especially if you want, real fluffy fringe. So I'm just going to do this for now. I'm just going to cut it. See, I just cut it, so I've got it there. And I'm just going to slide under here and cut these. So I've got a bunch of loose strands that are all approximately the same length. Okay. All right, so I've got all of my strands of yarn. And now I'm going to determine where on my scarf I'm going to place it. So on my original scarf, I did 15 of these little tassels, my fringy tassels. I did 15 of them. So I did every other stitch because remember we started with 30 stitches. So I did every other one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab hold of my 2 strands because that's how thick I made mine. I'm going to insert my hook into the first little loop where the first stitch was. I'm going to hold my yarn in half, kind of folded it over in half, see? And put it right on top of my hook. From there, I'm going to just pull it through, yarn over with all of the strands, and pull all of those through. And you might want to help it. You might want to kind of lift it up over, but you're going to pull it through like that. And that's as simple as it is. It's that simple. So I'm going to do it again with another couple of pieces of yarn here. And like I said, I did 15, so I will skip one and do the next one. I did like every other stitch. I put a little tassel in. Okay, so I've inserted my hook, laid my yarn on top, so it's about halfway. Looks like this one's really shorter. There we go. That's better. Got to try to make it as even as you can. And of course, when you're done, you're going to go ahead and trim it up nice and even. So I pull that through, lay my yarn all on top, and I am going to help it out just by pulling that. There we go. And there, now you see I've got 2 there. Okay, now if you wanted it thicker, you could do every stitch. That would be fine. I just happened to do every other stitch and I liked how that looked. Okay, so that is how you do the fringe. You're going to work your way all the way across. And of course, on the other end, do it on that side too. The most important thing is don't forget about the fringe if you want fringe. Don't use your entire yarn up before you've done it, because then you won't have any yarn left and you'll just end up buying a whole skein of yarn just to do your fringe. So might want to set some fringe aside, your fringe benefits.
I forgot to mention that you are going to want to end your project with the 2 rows of single crochet. Almost forgot about that.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed this. I really love this scarf. It's so cozy and so squishy, especially when you make it with a really thick, chunky yarn. Once you get past, you know, the trickiness of the stitch, it goes really fast. And again, you know, really think about your hook choice when doing this stitch, because that can make a big difference too. And you could also try it, you know, in a regular yarn and see how you like that too. I mean, that might be really nice. I haven't tried that yet, so. All right, guys, I'm babbling. You've heard enough of my voice. I will let you go. Enjoy making your 2-leaf bar scarf, and, you know, show me some pictures of your 2-leaf bar scarves on my Facebook group. I'd love to see them. The link is down below. But yeah, come on over to Whippy Chick Crochet Connections and show me what you've done. I'd love to see it. Okay, everybody, have a great time. Have a great night. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.